Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be solving LeetCode 929, unique email addresses. Now, for this problem, they're going to give us an array of email addresses, and they want us to, obviously, as the name suggests, return all the unique email addresses. Now, they do give us some constraints where if there's a plus in the local name of the email address, which is everything before the @ symbol, anything after the plus sign can be ignored, right? We just want everything before the plus symbol. And we also want to replace all of the periods with empty strings. And you can read through the examples here. I'm not going to read it all. It's a bit long. But essentially what we are going to want to do is we need the unique email addresses. So first let's create a set. We'll call it S. S will be equal to a set. Now we need to loop through this given email list. So we'll say for email in our emails list. What do we need to do? We need to get the local name of the email address and the domain name. How can we do that? We can do that by using the split operator. So we'll say local name, comma, domain name are going to be equal to the email we are currently at, dot split. What do we want to split on? Well, we want to split on the @ symbol. What will that give us? Let's print that out so everyone can see. We got local name and domain name. We'll run this. And LeetCode does not want to print out everything unless we return something. I don't know why. It must be an update. Domain name. It would help if I spelled everything correctly too. Domain name. We'll run this. Not valid. Okay, well, we'll just return 2. Okay, so we can see we have LeetCode.com as the domain name, and our local name is being split. That's the first part of our email address. So we have A, B, and C here. Okay, so what else can we do to, well, we obviously know we're going to want to return the length of our set, right? We want the number of unique email addresses, so we'll say length of S. And what now? Now we need to loop through the local part of our email address, and we need to grab everything before the plus symbol if there exists a plus symbol, and we also need to replace all the periods. How can we do that? We can say, well, now instead of the local name being equal to the first part before the @ symbol, we're going to say the local name is now going to be equal to the local name dot split, and we will check. We'll split on the plus symbol, right? If there is no plus symbol, it'll just return the entire local name. And then if there is a plus symbol, we only want to return everything before it, not after it, right? So how can we get test.email instead of Alex? Well, this is now an array, so we can index into it for the first position. That'll grab test.email and leave everything after the plus symbol. Okay, now what do we need to do? Now we need to replace all of the periods inside of this part of the email address. We can simply do that by saying dot replace all of our periods with the empty string character. Okay, so now what? Now let's print out the local name and the domain name. Let's see what we have. Again, it would help if I spelled things correctly. Domain name, domain name. Okay, so now we have test email as a local name and LeetCode.com as the domain name. So what we have to do now is build our email back up, right? Because we don't see an @ symbol in here. So how can we do that? We can just say email, or the new email, we'll say the new email address is going to be equal to the local name plus the @ symbol plus the domain name, right? And that'll give us this reconstructed email address. Now what do we need to do with it? Now we need to add it to our set, right? Because we only want the unique ones. And we can do that by saying s.add our newly constructed email. right? And then we can just return the length of our set. So let's run this and get rid of this print statement, see what we have. Okay, so we passed both test cases. Let's submit this. And we do pass, it's pretty good. So we'll go back to the description. What is the time and space complexity of this algorithm? Well, our space complexity is going to rely on the length of the set we are creating. So that is going to be O of, we'll say S dot length. And our time complexity is going to be O of N. We're looping through every email address and doing some constant operations on them. So our time complexity will be O of N. Okay, and that'll do it for LeetCode 929, unique email addresses.